Are you in a place where you have to choose between one person and another? This tarot and oracle reading is going to give you some guidance. Stay tuned. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't met me yet, I am Leesa. I am a certified tarot consultant whose goal is to help you leverage the power of the tarot to gain insights into yourself, navigate your life, and in general, make your life amazing. And on this channel, I do pick a card readings, guided meditations, month ahead, and tarotscope readings, and ones just like this. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so that you can find my other videos and see when new ones come out. So today, guys, we are going to be looking at what you should do if you have two people that you are trying to decide between when it comes to having a romantic relationship with. And that's what this focus is on the romantic relationship. So if you have two people and you are trying to make a decision about which one you should be with, this is a fantastic reading for you because that's what we're going to be looking at. So sometimes it happens, guys, that we have two people and we're not quite sure which one is going to lead to long-term happiness or who's going to be better for us in the short term. So that's what I want to try to figure out today. So if you are new to pick a card readings, your intuition is really going to play into this. So definitely make sure that while I'm shuffling here, you are getting relaxed. Get down into that kind of fuzzy headspace where your intuition can start to flow. And that's really going to help out. Okay. All right. So hopefully you have tuned in a little bit. Now I'm going to show you three different objects, and your purpose, your goal here is to simply look at those three objects and decide which one is speaking to you the most today. So the first thing that I have is a red rose, intact. It's just the top of the flower. Put that there. The next object that I have is actually a red rose, but petals, individual petals. Okay. And then the third one is actually it was a white rose. It's hard to see now because it is dried, but it is a boutonniere. So take just a quick second here, take a deep breath in, look at these three items: the rose petals, the boutonniere. Which one is speaking to you today? And if you chose the rose, guys, we're going to start with that one first. So you're just going to continue watching. If you chose the plate of rose petals or the boutonniere, you are going to skip ahead. I'm going to put those timestamps in here. So you're going to want to skip ahead to get to your reading. All right, so starting with our rose. Okay, guys, we're going to take a look here. All right, and I am using, by the way, guys, the deck that I am using here in the beginning is the Heart of Fairy Oracle by Brian Froud. So beautiful imagery by Brian Froud. And the card that we get here is the Magician. And in Froud's deck, the Magician actually deals a lot with the concept of illusion. So throughout this, just keep in mind, when we're looking at these two different people and we're going to look at them together, this is reminding you to keep a clear head, because there could be a sense of, there could be some kind of smoke and mirrors going on here. So this person might appear, or these people may appear better to you than they really are. They may make you feel, or one of them may make you feel in a way that you wouldn't normally feel, which can be fantastic, but there is a bit of a warning that says, hey, this could be something that disappears. And you don't want something, something like that where you feel good about yourself. You want that to stay around for a while. So you don't want that to disappear. And you don't want it to be false either. So the idea with the Magician here, I just get the sense of, hey, be careful. Make sure that these people that you are considering are being true and honest, and that they're not giving you, just a story. And guys, what we're going to do is I want you to think, I'm going to do 2 different rows of cards, one at the top, one at the bottom, and that is going to represent those 2 people. So what I need you to do is think in your head, person 1 and person 2. So think about those 2 people that you have to decide between. And I need you right now to make a determination, who is person 1 and who is person 2. And I'm going to move ahead with the reading on that. All right, so going to start first and foremost with the foundations that you have with this particular person. What do you have to build upon with this person? Okay, so let's start with person number 1. I'm just taking a quick look here. Okay, we have the Empress card. We have the 8 of Swords. So I get the sense, guys, with this, that the 2 of you have some history and perhaps some long-standing history. And if it's not something that's incredibly long-standing, then it's something that has been incredibly intense and has kind of got the 2 of you in a lockstep very quickly. I get the sense that this person makes you feel, let's go back to this Magician card here, makes you feel very good, makes you feel there's, I think, some definite like sensual or sexual pull here. At the same time, it's one of those things where you feel almost like you can't get away. So I get the sense that there's this magnetism going on here. So how long, that can take you in the long run, we'll have to see. But that's what I'm seeing with that first person, this kind of magnetism, this either a long-term history or something that makes you feel like just, magnets pulling you right to each other. Person number 2, we have the 4 of Pentacles here. We have the Knight of Swords. This person, I feel, this is something in terms of a foundation. I feel as though, when I see the 4 of Pentacles, that is a really solid, firm foundation to be building upon. That's a great card. At the same time, I see the Knight of Swords here to me as a very fast moving card. So I get the sense here that the foundation that you have here is good, but I almost get a sense that it's ever changing. So wherever you're sitting now with this person, you're going to have to be adaptable with that particular person. Okay, so I want to see with each of these people, what, if you were to choose them, if you were to choose this particular person, what would this relationship feel like? What would it feel like a week from now, a month from now? Okay. All right. Okay, so some fun cards here. And guys, this is the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I just feel is a super fun card, super fun deck, excuse me. Almost every single card has little witch hats and striped stockings, which I just think is so much fun. So taking a look here, putting all these things together. I get the sense, guys, that as you are working with this relationship with this person, as I'm looking at the way that these cards are falling and how they're interacting with each other, I feel as though being with this person might take you away from some of the other people that you traditionally rely upon in your life. That being with this person may actually ostracize you a bit, maybe from your friends or your family. Perhaps people don't, either they don't like person number one very much, they don't think they're a good person for you to be with, or maybe you are simply going to be so caught up with them. I mean, I'm seeing, this idea of, very passionate, very, passion focused. But I get the sense that, somewhere down the line, you're going to be wondering, was this the right choice? Was it not the right choice? Filled with passion at the same time, you may be going it alone. It may be something where the two of you are just so caught up in each other that you kind of step away from either your other responsibilities or the people that have had your back or you've been connected to for a while. All right, so that's person number one. Person number two. Okay. Person number two, we have the Ace of Cups reversed, not a card I would love to see when it comes to a love reading or a relationship reading. Ace of Wands reversed, Four of Cups reversed. Guys, I'm not getting a good feeling with this. I'm feeling like whatever excitement was there in the beginning is not going to last, or maybe that's just it. It's just going to fall away very quickly. I get a sense that it's kind of going to be a flash in the pan thing. And it's going to be one of those things that's going to eventually it's going to drag on you. It's going to be something that's not going to be super enjoyable in the long run. So I get much more passion with this top one, to the point that the two of you may very well disconnect yourself from other people. And the one at the bottom, I just get the sense that it's, I'm not saying it, the person's going to be terrible, it's going to be like a difficult relationship. I just get a sense of there not being a whole lot of excitement. It's going to be a bit dull. Okay. So ultimately, guys, ultimately with person number one, let me see here what I got. Yeah. Ultimately, guys, when I look at these, person number one, I have you kind of wondering, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right choice? But this seems to be a very internal thought, and I don't know if that's coming off of some of the behaviors or the things that are going on during this relationship. I do get the sense that it's going to be very passionate. It's going to be exciting, but you're going to wonder, down the line, is this the right thing for me? I think with person number two, you're absolutely going to question that. But it's going to be based not on, I almost get the sense with both of these people that you're going to be questioning your decision. The first one, simply because I think you're wondering if there's more out there. Should I have made a different decision? Is there something out there with more substance? I just get the sense that you're going to feel as though this is not a long-term solution, whereas this one seems like the better long-term solution, but it's definitely less passionate. So I think that's kind of where you're going to have to be with this, guys. I see strong foundations with person number two. The idea that this could be a longer lasting relationship, but I don't actually see it being incredibly exciting. Person number one, I see it being much more exciting, but you're going to wonder in the end, like, is this the right option for me? Did I make the right decision? Or, am I, is this something that's going to burn out? So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. I have one more bit of advice, guys. I want to go ahead and do one quick oracle pull at the end to help us all better understand how to approach this with this person. What's the best way to approach this person? So go ahead and look at the timestamp, slide forward into the video to get to that, and I will see you there. Okay, moving on to those of you that chose the rose petals. All right, let's see what we have for you. Okay, the Queen of Owls. And the Queen of Owls shows up, guys, when there are matters of health to consider. So what I'm seeing here is no matter which person you go with, you need to make sure that you are keeping your own health in mind. Do not let any one relationship stretch you, especially mentally. further than you should be. Make sure that you are physically and mentally in a space where you can have a relationship with someone before you jump into it. So that is my first bit of advice right here. So what we're going to do, guys, is you are trying to choose between two different people. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I am going to do 2 rows of cards, one at the top, one down here at the bottom. I need you to decide right now who is person number 1, who is person number 2. And then we're going to do readings to see what that relationship with those people would look like. And that will give you some foresight so that you are able to make a decision about who would be the better person. Maybe neither. We will see. But let's first take a look a little bit at the foundations that you have. So person 1, person 2. Okay. All right. So when we look at the foundations with person number 1, I get the sense that this person may be fairly new into your life, or someone who has been, if they have been in your life for a while, this idea of seeing them as a romantic partner is fairly new. I don't see, a huge foundation from which to build on. So this could be a very new thing. Which means, guys, that, your relationship right now is just going to be, you're going to be forging a new path with that. I'm not seeing a whole lot of backstory with the two of you in regards to that kind of romantic piece. Interesting. Another knight, and then the Hermit. I always love it when the Hermit comes up because he is one of my favorite cards. So when it comes to this particular person and looking at the foundations and the backstory that you guys have there, I get the sense that he actually was, or she, excuse me, was a, I'm getting conflicting things here, guys. I'm seeing for some of you that this person actually was almost ignored by you until very recently. And when I mean ignored, I mean they've been there, they've been around, but someone that you haven't taken a whole lot of notice with. Almost someone that maybe has been in the same friend circle, or maybe you've gone to the same school or the same workplace, or something where you could have been running into each other and you haven't. I do get the sense that, this is something that from something that's a very practical background, and that's something that you can build upon, that there's a practical foundation to build upon, which is actually really good. It can be very good when it comes to relationships. So I get the sense that maybe this is someone that you should have been paying attention to more in the past, but you haven't up to this point, whereas this is someone that could be fairly new to your life and perhaps is sweeping you off your feet. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to do, guys, is take a look at what this relationship is going to feel like while you are in it. Okay. What is it going to feel like for you? How are you going to enjoy or not enjoy it? And this is going to be in the first, few weeks or potentially months, but what is it going to feel like during the time that you are in this relationship with this particular person? So looking at person number 1, I'm just kind of flipping through the cards here. Wow. So we have the 8 of Pentacles, we have the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Cups. Guys, with this one, I'm seeing that this is going to be a lot of work and not a lot of payoff. And in fact, with this particular person, I'm seeing that there could be quite a bit of a level of frustration, not being happy emotionally, and wondering, hey, is this worth it? I'm putting all this work into this relationship. I'm spending all this time with this person. Is it really worth it to me? So you might have to ask yourself right now, what are you looking for in a relationship? What is it going to mean to you to have a relationship be quote unquote worth it? Because I'm getting the sense that you may not see that with this first person. Okay. All right, 7 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles. Just love the artwork. Okay. Excellent. I get the sense, guys, with this second person, I feel like the whole time that you're with this person, you're going to feel a bit off kilter, which actually can be good. Sometimes it's good to have someone knock us out of a rut or move us away and into something a bit better. That's what I'm seeing here, starting out with this Temperance reverse card. I do get the sense that you may have to feel as though you are kind of defending your relationship, maybe more than you think that you should. I don't know if that's going to be to friends or if that's going to be to family or even to yourself, but you have to kind of convince yourself, hey, I'm in this for particular reasons. I do see the 4 of Pentacles, though, as being actually a really positive card in this particular sense. I mean, it's something that feels secure. So you'll be saying, hey, I feel fairly secure here, even though I'm a little off kilter. I feel like it's going to be upending something. I'm getting a good feeling from this, though, not necessarily bad. And you're going to have to say to yourself, though, during this time, maybe convince yourself, convince other people, hey, I'm in this for the right reasons. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I like this person. Kind of going back to this Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a very practical, steadfast person, but he's not necessarily the most exciting person in the world. So, you may have to be, doing some talking, to your head during this, or to your heart, and saying, hey, this is actually a really good person for me, or defending your position on that with the people around you. Because remember, this is someone that maybe had been not noticed by you before, whereas this is someone who, I feel like is fairly new for you as a romantic interest. So let's take a look at the end, kind of what this is going to look like and the results here. Wow. All right, guys, got the Lovers here. This top one, it's interesting because this whole concept of having to really work for this relationship, a little bit of heartache, a little bit of wondering if it's right or if it makes sense or if it's worth it. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of love here, guys. That's a real positive sign for me. Look at this. These two guys are basically the same card. They are the same card, just 2 different decks. Okay, so I'm getting a sense that person number 2, whoever this is, I mean, practicality. I mean, what a safe choice. If you're looking for safe, if you're looking for someone that can provide for you, if you're looking for someone that's going to speak more to your head than your heart, person number 2 could be the person. I'm seeing a lot more love and passion with person number 1, and more practical, perhaps financial concept with person number 2. Especially, guys, seeing, even this card here, this reversed 7 of Pentacles, and seeing the 8 up here. This one just seems more financially smart. I don't know if that makes sense. But I potentially see good matches with either one of these. The question is going to be, what ultimate outcome are you looking for? Okay. So I have one more bit of advice, guys. At the end of the video, I'm going to be going over, how should you approach this? How, what type of energy should you bring into this relationship or trying to start this relationship? So that's going to be at the Oracle card reading. I'm putting a timestamp down there right now. Just slide over to that part of the video, and I'll see you guys there. Okay, moving on to those of you that chose the Boutonniere. Let's see what we get here. This is from Brian Froud's Heart of Fairy Oracle, by the way, guys. And let's see, the Lady of Sorrows. Guys, she shows up when we are having a hard time letting go of things that have hurt us in the past. So she is reminding you, as you are getting ready to make a decision about who to move into a relationship with, be very mindful of some of the things that you were bringing into this relationship. Think about those things that have maybe hurt you in the past and see if there's a way to sort of release those, rather than carrying those with you. I get the sense that there's been a lot of, hurt and pain in either your most recent relationship or multiple relationships that you have been in. And she's asking you to be very careful. It's hard to move forward with someone new if you're still carrying burdens from the past. Okay, so guys, we're going to look at these two people that you are trying to make a decision between. So what I would like you to do is think in your head right now, who is person one and who is person number two? Because I'm going to do two readings here, one at the top for person number one down here for person number two. So you need to decide right now in your head who is which person. And we're going to take a look at what this relationship could be like for each of these. And we're going to start with the foundations that you currently have that you are building on and some of the things that you can build on. Okay, so person number one, person number two. So hopefully you have decided. Don't switch those. All right, so person number one. Guys, I get the sense with this particular person that your foundations that you have to build on, what you currently have between the two of you, is definitely going to be built on love and this idea of acceptance and being able to move forward with each other in a way that feels really good for the both of you. I think this is a really good foundation to build on. For some of you, not all of you, it kind of depends on how long you've known this person, but for some of you, I get the sense that you may have just made the decision that this person is actually a love interest. But I get the sense for most of you that this is a really good foundation. Foundation of love is a great one to build on. So love, acceptance, being okay with who you are and who they are. Absolutely. All right. The foundation that we have here with this other person. And we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. We have the Knight of Cups reversed. Guys, I get the sense here with this card or these two cards that this person is maybe outside of the realm of someone that you would typically be looking at. Now, that can be good. It's good sometimes to get outside of our typical realms of what we consider to be okay or people that we consider to be okay to date or to be with. I get the sense that for you here, your heart might be running away with you a little bit here, which once again, not necessarily bad. So I get the sense that there's a lot of excitement here. This might be something where, sometimes we see people and we just fall for them right away. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know why this person is so attractive to me, or I'm so excited about this person, but they are a little bit disarming. They're kind of throwing you a bit for a loop, and kind of taking your emotions and knocking them a bit off to the side as well. So the foundation here is a bit less steady for person number two than it is for person number one, I think, just from what I'm seeing. But neither one is bad. I mean, it just has to do with kind of how you're approaching the feelings and the way that your relationship is right now. Remember, these are just the first stepping stones. So, right away, that idea of acceptance here, that idea of just, really being excited about this person and wanting to basically spend more time with them. Okay, so let's look at what this path with this person is going to feel like while you are on it. Wow, all upright. So this is going to just deal with the first, few weeks or months with this person. What is this going to feel like? Okay. All right, just needed a second to, wow. So guys, I'm getting, these are not bad cards in any way. And actually, I get the sense just right off the bat that it's going to feel a little bit like a whirlwind romance. There's going to be a lot of fun going on. You guys are going to have a lot of enjoyment in just spending time with each other. I get a sense that this person's going to be pretty, for the most part, accepted by your friends and family. I do get a sense that you are going to maybe be keeping your guard up around this person. I don't know why that is, and maybe it's going back to this. Okay, but you yourself are going to have some internal things that you are going to need to work through. But I do get the sense that for the most part, your friends and your family are going to find this person to be okay. I think that it's going to be, fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. I just think maybe there's going to be something about it that's going to have you kind of tense and not sure what that is. It could be, your past. It could be something about this person that you maybe don't want to tell them. Or you're not willing to let your guard down, but there's something that has you just, not being completely open. The other person, let me see here. Okay. So guys, with this particular person, I'm getting, actually, and this is not bad once again. So we have justice here. I love how there's the two cats there. We have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Hanged Man. So I get the sense that whatever you put into this relationship, guys, is going to be exactly what you get out of it. For some of you, it's going to feel as though, I get the sense that for some of you, it's going to feel like it's not moving fast enough. There's a bit of a hesitation here, or a little bit more of a slow step. This first person, I'm seeing a lot of speed here, and that actually could be where this hesitation is coming from. Like, whoa, this is moving really fast. But people seem to be okay with it, the people you're surrounded by. With this particular person number 2, whatever you put into it is going to be what you get out of it. I see this as being a positive relationship. I don't see anything negative from it, but I do get the sense that at times you might be wondering, like, wow, is this going anywhere? And once again, remember that it's whatever you put into it is going to be what you get out of it. But I do see very fair and kind of equitable relationship between the two of you. Okay. Now let's take a look at the last card. This one's going to look at the ultimate results, long-term impact on you. Okay. Oh, all right. So, Devil card, actually reverse. When the Devil's reversed, that tends to be so much better than upright. But taking a look at the Devil reverse, guys, I'm getting the sense that this person may, in the long run, actually help you break some former patterns of yourself that were actually destructive. I get a sense that this person, whoever this person number 1 is actually going to be good for you in the long run. When we see the Devil upright, he's indicating a lot of things that can really drag us down, and that can be all sorts of stuff. It can be mental things. It can be addictions to, food or drugs. It can be addictions to people. It can be all sorts of things that connect us and hold us down to things that we shouldn't be necessarily connected with or gripping onto. So when we flip it upside down like this, we're talking about breaking chains and moving away from things. So I see that this person is going to help you break some chains or move away from things. And whether that is actually, physically moving you out of a location, or if it's more mental and in your head, this person is going to help you in doing that. This one down here, long run, guys, I hate to say it, I don't see a whole lot of long-term relationship potential for this one. I just feel like in the end, it's going to lead to either a lot of heartache or just something where you're like, meh, not for me. Now, that's not to say that it's not fun while it happens. It could be. But I get a sense here that, it's really going to be, for person number 2, It's more this idea of, hey, it was exciting in the beginning, and then, in the long run, it's maybe a little boring or not very exciting, or, where are we going with this? So I get the sense that the long-term potential here is not great. Although during the time period that you guys are dating or being together, I feel like it will be, fair and equitable. These are the things I have in my head. So if you're looking for that in a relationship, there you go. I think the one up at the top, when I look at this, I think the foundations are there, and that person's going to ultimately kind of help you break out of that. So neither one of these, I think, looks overly destructive, guys. It's just, these two end cards. This is what I'm seeing for person number one and person number two. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to an oracle reading where I am going to help you figure out how to approach this particular person if you do decide that you want to move ahead with the relationship. So move to that part of the video. It should be the very next thing for you guys. So just hang out and I will have that for us in just a quick second. Okay, guys, so you've made a decision about the person that you should move forward with. And now we're just going to do a really quick message basically saying, how is the best way to approach this person? How should we be moving forward in terms of a relationship? And I have the Earth Power Oracle today just to give us some guidance. And the card that I get is the Cathedral of Notre Dame. So it says, the feminine divine is alive in all spiritual practices. Places of power remain places of power. I am full of love and tolerance. So in relation to this particular reading, guys, I'm focusing on this, this final piece. I am full of love and tolerance, and also this idea of feminine divine and the way that that means in the spiritual sense. So what I'm seeing here, guys, a couple of things. Number one, this idea of love and tolerance. Make sure as you approach this person that you are approaching them with this idea of, hey, I accept you for who you are. Also, when we talk about the feminine aspect of divine, it's about bringing something in, accepting something. So be ready and willing to accept this person as they are, where they come, and not with any, oh, I'm happy to be with you, but I need you to do X, Y, Z. It is asking you to take this person as they are, no expectations in regards to how they might change down the line, but walk into the relationship knowing, hey, this is who they are. I need to accept them for the person they are now, because people aren't necessarily going to change down the line. So sometimes people get in relationships thinking they can change someone. That's not always a good idea to have in your head, guys, and that's what it's reminding us. Have tolerance for who they are. Remember who they are. See who they are. Don't expect to be able to make any changes with that. But that's what I'm seeing there. So that's it for today's reading, guys. I hope that this gave you some guidance on what person would be the best person to move forward with. If it resonated with you, please go ahead and hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be able to see when the next reading comes out. I do monthly tarotscope and monthly month ahead readings, so you want to make sure that you don't miss those. And if you have a suggestion on what type of pick a card reading to do next, certainly let me know. And this is a more general reading for the collective. If you are looking for a one-on-one reading, I do those. Head over to my website, see the things I offer, hit me up there. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you next time.